welcome to NatChat. I'm Mirella Rich. Today our guests are Michael Manson and Mike Burr, who are professional wrestlers, and Russell Whitehead, who is an amateur wrestler, aspiring wrestler, and has built his own wrestling ring. Welcome them to the show. Welcome.
How are you, Mirella?
It's great to have you. Let's start with you, Manson, as you like to be called.
That's my name.
How did you get started in wrestling, and tell us a little bit about your experience in Japan and winning fights?
I had done martial arts for many years beforehand, and I got injured in 1997, took some time off, got the opportunity to train as a professional wrestler, trained with probably one of the best guys in the country, George Julia. I was very lucky about that. Wrestled for his promotion and many other promotions throughout Australia for the last 8 years. Had the opportunity to go to Japan. Was, excellent. I went over there and wrestled with the Japanese wrestlers, and got an opportunity to go back there again.
And you won many of those fights.
I won, yeah, 3 out of 4, so I had 1 loss over there.
Good.
And wrestling has been fantastic. I love it.
Beautiful. And Mike Burr, you're one of the best wrestlers in Australia today. Can you tell us what it is that makes you so passionate about wrestling, and what sort of training do you do, and what sort of diet do you follow to be so good at it?
Passion is just passion. It's like anything. It'd be if I played AFL, played basketball, played baseball. It's what I love to do. I love to go out there and take bumps, entertain, if you will, but got no real aspirations of being an actor, so this is another way of doing it. The diet itself that I try to focus on, and the training, I try to eat well. I spoil myself on junk food probably too much, but the training itself is a lot of sacrifice. I'm in the gym for an hour and a half, 3 times a week. I train professionally wrestling and MMA 3 hours, 3 days a week. So it's 9 hours of solid wrestling training. And,
do you have people training you while you're training? Or do you do it on your own?
Myself and Mick, we do MMA together.
Yep.
Yeah. Manson, he does MMA with me and tells me, what my technique should be. He's got the experience in there. As for wrestling, we kind of, done our own little thing. I was lucky enough to get trained by the same guy Manson did. So we got run pretty hard, and that's what we try to bring to our training centre.
And he was a pretty hardcore trainer, not settling for any laziness, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, everything had to be perfect. He'd run you into the ground until you're just about dead, pick you up again and run you in the ground again. And
did you ever feel like saying, I can't work with you, you're making me work too hard?
Absolutely.
And how you dealt with it?
You always do. You find it too hard, but if you're passionate about something, you deal with it. And you go, you deal with it. That's the bottom line, and that's what we try to bring to our training. If you're not cut out and you're whinging, then get out. We don't have time to waste on you. We need to waste our time on someone, at least that's going to show heart, show dedication to it.
At our training school, we train by the old methods that George showed us. We are hard on the trainees. I think we're fair, but we're hard. We don't take any guff off them. We make them work hard.
Because if you're too soft, people aren't going to get anywhere, are they?
Well, that's it. We're trained wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're here to make the business better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at a stage now that the business is running. That's it.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah. We want the business to be, so people go out on a Saturday night and go, what do you want to do tonight? Oh, let's blow off a club, let's go to the wrestling. There's not a lot of guys that do it, but there are families that, a mother and father can't take their 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids to a bar.
Yeah.
Bring them to wrestling, where there's responsible things happening. There's a show, it's a family show. There are things for the parents to do. Parents aren't going to be bored.
Yeah.
That's what we guarantee you. I can guarantee that now.
Yeah. And also, Russell, you're one of the fans of these guys, and that's how you sort of got involved, and then you built your own, or you also built your own wrestling ring. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. Well, when I say that, my first memories of wrestling were back in England. My grandfather sitting me on the couch and on a Sunday afternoon at some stage, and I'll never ever forget this moment where I saw this fella called Big Daddy, and he just squashed this little guy, and it was just etched in my mind forever. And since that day, life's gone on, and I've become a wrestling fan along the way, and there's heaps of stuff for wrestling fans to collect, and I'm a collector, I'm a hoarder by nature, and it's just there. And I started going out and getting the little wrestling dolls and playing with them. And,
my brother did that.
That's right, I've still got my wrestling dolls. And then, and I remember after I got my first job, I subscribed to there was about 5 wrestling magazines around, and I had a bit of cash and I could get these wrestling magazines, and I'd hang out at the newsagents for these magazines to come in, and I could read what was happening overseas and look at the pictures, and and life goes on, and I can't understand, but for whatever reason, I've never lost that desire to be involved in wrestling some way.
That's gorgeous.
I guess for some reasons I can read my own life into the stories that have been presented to me on television, and I think that's what a lot of people appeals to them.
And it's also it's kind of a fun thing too, isn't it? It's like it's done theatrically and it's like entertainment, and it's not always so like the dangerous side. Like people don't really want to get broken bones and things. What's your
Wrestling
idea on that?
itself is very dangerous. Wrestling itself. I mean, what we do to each other, if we didn't have total faith in each other and respect, something could go terribly wrong, get their necks broken. That's why we say to all the kids out there, we say to them, hey, don't try this at home. It's not because we don't want them to learn it. Grow up to be big people, and if you want to learn it. But don't do it unsupervised and don't do it untrained.
Yeah.
But we do try to entertain the fans and entertain the crowd, and that's what we're there for, to make sure that every person that walks through that door has a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of the things, we've just got like 30 seconds or something, if you can just say to camera how you rev up the camera, how you rev up the fans and stuff. Just pretend you're in the ring now. Pretend you're in the ring now.
Listen here, you.
Don't be too
You don't deserve to be in the same room as I am. I'm the greatest thing that you have ever seen, bar none. And you don't deserve to watch me wrestle. So give me your money and walk out the room now and let me do it for someone that does deserve it.
And how do they respond?
I usually get like,
They don't laugh.
They don't laugh.
It's making fun of you. It's ridiculous.
Me, mate.
It's meant to be taken seriously for a change.
Okay.
I love it. Well, we'll do more of that. We'll get you to have a shot too when we get back, Mike. You're watching NatChat. Stay with us. We'll be back with more. See you soon.